Welcome, Virgo Libra, to your May love reading. Hope you friends are doing great out there. If your friends like this, hit that big old like button and subscribe. Welcome back, all subscribers, and anyone new, welcome, welcome. Okay, guys, let's get in here and see what's going on with you during this May. Remember, time is fluid, so this could already be happening or you're waiting for it to happen. Okay, guys. Getting rid of your darkest fear. So it looks like you are getting out of the Nine of Swords as we're speaking. Not feeling like I'm stuck in a comfort zone anymore. Really speaking your truth. Not worrying about situations. Not being stressed out about situations. Okay, so because it says, you know what? I wasn't taking the lead. Or maybe I'm not going to take the lead anymore. Maybe I'm going to leave we'll see how it is. I'm going to leave those reins behind. Sadness and isolation. After seeking the truth to a situation, daydreams, and decisions. So we'll have to clarify on that one in just a second. Let's see what that says. Let's get that. Take the lead. I want to see that first before I get your person's energy up. Looks like there was a lot of sadness and isolation going on over here. You do have the Three of Swords, so definitely had some kind of hurt going on over here when it comes to love. Agreeing to disagree and differences. Letting go. I think it's letting go of taking the lead. I think maybe you were trying to be the leader and maybe it was a little over controlling, or they seen it as a little over controlling. Maybe it was, and it's just causing conflict. So they're like, within differences, we're going to let that go and find the peace within the situation. Because it looks like no matter what you were trying to do, whether it was helping or not, it just, you know what, this is the only way to avoid the ending to this situation. And all it did was end up giving you Nine of Swords anyways, because you have that sadness and that isolation. It's giving me the Three of Swords, so I'm preparing myself to move out of this energy with you. So I was releasing fear. There it is, releasing fears. So definitely seeking the truth to the situation was releasing fears for you and insecurities about the situation. We'll have to dig into that. Because now you have the daydreams and the decisions, and things are opening up and finding more opportunities where you were having this kind of smugness and this kind of lack of inner joy. You could even say that maybe it was their smugness, but it was leading to your dissatisfaction no matter what. So you weren't feeling like things were going the way you wanted them to go when it came to this situation. Maybe you knew you were trying to take the reins a little too much. Maybe you felt like they were being lazy, this, that, or the other, but then they end up thinking you were controlling, and then that just caused a big problem, right? Just a big problem. They're like, how much control do you want, right? So look, they're saying, yeah, lead. They want to be able to lead themselves. They want to be able to be and feel like the emperor that they are. They want to feel like they have some kind of control, that they're stable in what they're doing, because they don't feel like they were getting the well-deserved reward from you. They feel like I think that they felt like you were taking too much reign and you were taking their power away from them. Remember, guys, if you feel like it's the other way around, switch the energies. That would just be you. You see what I'm saying? This would be them and this would be you. Whichever way it's going, but it's coming out this way. It looks like they were trying to manifest. They were trying to take action and make this completely 100% turn around in their favor, but they felt like they couldn't trust the situation, so they didn't want to make any risks. They didn't want to take any leaps of faith, but it felt like they were definitely trying to manifest things. They were definitely trying to take action, but okay. Feels like a lot of the action that might have been taken, though, was it enough action, though? Was it in their mind, or was it definitely, because it says now they want to take the action where there wasn't any actions, but they didn't take any risks before. So it makes me think that if they weren't taking the risks they needed to take to actually have the rewards that they wanted, it feels like that's why you took the reins. Because they just couldn't trust their intuition, they couldn't trust the world, they couldn't trust themselves, they didn't want to take any more risks within the situation. but now it says I'm gonna go after my desires. So it does feel like, well, however, whatever's going on over here, yeah, they want the success and the growth, not only within the relationship, but I also feel like it could be through a job. Maybe they weren't making enough. I feel like this. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, right? I mean, that's. I think seriously, for whoever's energy I'm picking up, this has something to do with the job. They weren't getting out into the work field. They weren't taking care of what they needed to take care of, whether it's supposed to be, both, you're both trying to work together, pay the bills together, do things together. They just weren't putting in enough effort. Um, so it feels like you had taken over this situation, but then it made them feel like they weren't getting any kind of satisfaction from the situation. So it made them very smug because now they think you're taking too much control. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Too much control in the relationship through and the situation. And now they're saying I was manifesting. I'm going after now. I'm going to I want to take this leap. They want to take the leap. The sacral chakra is a card of want. I want to take the leap to have the success and growth, but I wasn't doing what my action said was doing because I wasn't trusting. They weren't trusting in themselves or trusting in the world, or there was a lot of inconsistencies for sure. Hmm. I think they thought they were losing a lot of respect from you because they weren't consistent in what they were supposed to be doing. And now they're saying they really want to collaborate and make this more of a teamwork and really work on this situation, and that they're really transforming because they don't want this to end. They don't want this to end. They want to move away from all of that so that they can really build, because the only way that they know they can have their well-deserved reward over here is to transform and actually end this cycle so that they can actually get their rewards, because there is a lot of love. They just have a lot of indecision and a lot of things and a lot of choices that they just were not taking action on. But it's kind of crazy because I think the action is more in their mind, or of what it is they want, but they never trusted enough to actually get out and do it. That's how I see it. You can manifest and manifest and manifest, but we all know we have to have the true action to manifest. So I do feel like deep down inside, they really wanted to do this. To attract, they were trying to attract what it is they truly want, but they're just, you can't sit there and only take action in your mind. You actually have to get out and do it. And it just looks like they weren't making the ultimate action risk. You have to actually, you can say I want that job, but you actually have to make a resume, you guys, right? You have to actually, do something. And it just feels like they were more in their mind about doing things. And so it became very stagnant. And this is where it feels like you were pulling the reins, you were picking up the pace. And I think it became a control thing in the end, because it just came to the point where it's like, but you're not doing anything. So it feels like you were pulling more than your own weight and your own share. And then it might become a little controlling. And then they see you as, controlling. But it's like, but if I didn't take over the risks and didn't do the things I'm doing, we could have lost the house, we could have lost the car, we could have lost, you know what I'm saying? And they're not thinking that way. They're not thinking straight. Let's put it that way. Absolutely. They were a lack of self awareness. Thank you. Limiting beliefs. They were too busy kind of punishing themselves for maybe losing this job or screwing up or whatever it was, that they're not really finding the success and growth, right? But they have the desire to get out there and do so. It's just about doing it. So I can see now where you're like, fine, if I don't let this go, we're just going to continue fighting. They want you to be more nurturing and more supportive. So it does feel like they felt like now you've become more like mom or more like kind of dad because you are overstressed. we get a 10 of Wands over here, it would not surprise me, right, on your side, because that's really what it is. You're pulling so much weight that, yeah, you might have felt like you're kind of in the more of the parent seat over here, trying to get all these things and keeping all these things together. But it's fine because we have a working parent anyways, right? So they kind of seen you more in kind of a parent role towards them than the love role. And that's because they're not putting in enough action to get that satisfaction. So you might be taking on second job. Now you're getting a little cranky. You're taking a lot of control. How dare you buy that, that steak? We can't afford it. And then they're like, what do you mean I can't have a steak? What do you say? You see what I'm saying? Stuff like that kind of thing. Take what resonates. You have your own story that you can stick in there, and throw away what doesn't resonate. We all have our own, but this is really the energy I'm picking up, is it's something very close to this. And so it's like you're over reliable. They see you as reliable. Don't get me wrong. They see you as the Queen of Pentacles. They see you as doing this work, but they're starting to think maybe you're over reliable. But see, they start waking up a little bit to realize you're kind of over. You know what I mean? Now you're kind of over stressed out. Yeah, they're on edge, but they see that you're overwhelmed and on edge. See, and that's where the change is coming. That's where the change is coming right there. So wherever they were holding on to the past resentment, they might even thought that you might even have been a little resenting them. And maybe it's because you didn't feel like there was a fire under their ass to get them up and moving. It's okay, I'll put it there for them, right? But it was almost like you felt like they weren't doing their piece enough. Right, but now it's time to make amends. Now it's time to reconcile. Now it's time to, and they have the desire to reconcile. This is a card of reconciliation. Okay. So it is, and cutting their losses and understanding. So they're more remorseful towards what it is you're doing. It's like they had this, like, before they couldn't see shit, and now all of a sudden they see it because they've transformed with the death card. So they're saying, I can see now. Absolutely. Yeah. They can see exactly all the things that you're doing instead of just holding on to this resentment and being like, but you're just a control freak. You tell me what to do all the time. And it's like, because you're acting like a child, you see what I'm saying? However it is, right? But now they're actually seeing that you're putting out more for one person, trying to keep a household together, try to keep whatever together, right? Okay, so they want to make amends. Clarify on the situation. Overall message, please. Opportunity back is out. Sitting in the Four of Cups, contemplation, knowing that no matter what, it's still a little imbalanced. It's not as imbalanced as it was, because you're you're letting go of some of those reins. You're like, okay, well then get out there and get that job. Then show me, prove it to me. That's kind of how I feel. That you're kind of thinking, right? Because you're prepared to make this better progress. Okay, well then, prove it. But it's still a little imbalanced. And it's going to be a little imbalanced till they actually find that job, or till they actually do what it is they're supposed to be doing, right? Whatever it is. Okay, then it shows that there will be that joy and stability. So what it's saying pretty much is, as you're contemplating and you're kind of like still disappointed about the situation, there is still a little imbalanced and still a little disappointed within the imbalance, but it is more joyful, and you're going to find there's a little more stability within the relationship. Okay. Do I see huge? No. I don't see the Three of Cups. Okay. I do see the Four of Wands though. So it's like we're making progress, right? We're making progress to the situation. So you're just awaiting the results. Absolutely. You're just going to sit over here, kind of await the results, and, kind of hoping for the best, right? Praying for the best. Okay, so let's get an overall card for the reading. confessions of love. Say, I love you. You know, it's that time where we need to have those heart-to-heart conversations, right? So we have this understanding of where we all stand, because they do see you as the Two of Cups, right? It's just that now where the rashness was, we need to come in and make sure that everybody understands, that they understand you still truly love them, right? Make sure they understand this, so they don't just feel like, you're just, mom running around or dad running around. And definitely having a reconciliation. So that will, having this Romeo type of passion and rationing things out and having that heart to heart conversation will bring in a reconciliation and letting go of these, you know, the past remorse and resentments, and also will change moods quickly. And that's where you're going to get this joy and stability. Okay. Even though, like I said, no matter what, it's still going to feel a little imbalanced, my friends. Okay. And that's just because you're still going to be waiting for the results of them to actually get back to where things need to be. Right. So that you're still not running all over the place. Even though you're letting go of some of the control, it does not mean, though, that you still cannot, right, or should not still take the action where you're taking action, because you don't want things to fall apart. Absolutely not. It's just saying, I'm not holding the reins so tightly, I'm loosening my grip on the reins. I'm just loosening up a little bit. And that's, just so they understand that you don't have this resentment towards them, right? Because they don't want to feel that. Okay. And remember, if the roles are switched, go ahead and switch those roles. Okay. Because no matter what, there's a lot of love here. Okay. On both sides, you can see that. Okay. Until next time, my friends, peace and love. Bye bye.